Welcome back, everybody. It's James Black, your host at the CSE, and today I'm joined by Emma Andrews, the CEO at Nextleaf Solutions, listed on the CSE under the symbol OILS, that's OILS. Tell me where you are, Emma, right now for our viewers, just to get a sense of place and time.
Yeah, I mean, we both chatted about having a little bit of a different environment for the interview today instead of a boardroom. This is actually our processing facility down here in Coquitlam. This is the distillation skid behind us. You might be able to see over my shoulder too, part of our manufacturing team. I believe they're packaging up some of our soft gels this morning.
Just for a bit of history, you guys are in the cannabis oil space, but maybe just give us a broad sense for the viewers, what exactly Nextleaf is working on. You've got three separate divisions. From a high level, what are you as the newly minted CEO, which we'll talk about in a bit, but the recently minted CEO of this company, what are you guys focused on in aggregate as Nextleaf Solutions?
So if anyone's been following us for a while, they'll know we began as an ingredient processor, toll processing cannabis biomass for our commercial partners into high purity extracts and distillate. And then about a year into legalization, as many viewers who've been following the industry probably know, when Cannabis 2.0 legalized, that's our class of products, which is extract-based products. So we entered as a CPG branded entity into the market through adult use and medical channels, and that's under the banner Glacial Gold.
Right. And tell the viewers just a little bit more about how that shift has occurred. So you were traditionally a B2B based business. Now you've really got a B2C, business to consumer focus with Glacial Gold. What has that meant for the company as this transition from that B2B focus to B2C focus?
Because this is an emerging industry, the first 6 years has been everyone figuring this out, right? Understanding the opportunities within the regulatory environment. So for us, when we began solely as a B2B provider, there was a lot of competition in the early days, and we knew that we wanted to capitalize on all possible opportunities to become a stable, profitable, revenue-driven company. And entering with CPG branded products under Glacial Gold made a lot of sense. We launched into our backyard here in BC. We started with products that really fit, our capacity and capabilities here. So that was vapes and tinctures, bottled oils, and then soon expanded into soft gels. We've done a really great job at finding the right partners in the industry as well from a contract manufacturing perspective, so that we can really just continue to focus on our best use of this facility, which is processing. And so as an example, we do encapsulation offsite, we do our infused pre-rolls offsite, and then bring them back here for packaging and distribution. So the ability to be agile, to pivot when needed, to capitalize on opportunities, I think that's been one of our strengths. We're, we like to say we're a bit of a scrappy company in the sense that we've had a lot of resilience, we've had a lot of determination, and a healthy dose of competition along the way.
That's wonderful. You've probably learned a few things in the last few years working with the company and now running it. Maybe just tell me a bit, Emma, about the product and ingredient trends that you've maybe learned more about or discovered throughout this journey as an operator in this industry.
Yeah, I love that question because we see so many shifts so rapidly. Almost every quarter, there's a new innovation coming into the market, a new competitor or a new brand launching. The turnover is really strong too with product portfolios in market. So we see a lot of differentiation in the different provinces and the assortment that they've got in market. And it's been a really interesting ride. I've been the director of marketing prior to being the CEO. So I've had my hand on the brand since day one and building them in the market. We've seen the shift in the vape category away from what's called a 510 thread cartridge into an all-in-one device, which is a little bit more convenience driven. I think we're going to start to see a lot of shifts towards convenience-based products. Consumers want it to be discreet if possible, to be, formats that they recognize, like soft gels as an example. And with the all-in-one devices, these are rechargeable, but they are disposable. So it's an interesting shift into something that maybe may not be as environmentally friendly in the long run. So the industry's got to work hard to create innovations that allow these to be repurposed, or closed loop manufacturing as an example. But consumers want convenience. They're really driving the trends here. As much as we can analyze data and as much as we can, project what we think, the consumers are really the decision makers here.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, as you mentioned, cannabis legalization's 6 years old now in our fine country. And maybe over those 6 years, you've learned, like I said, quite a bit about your own products and the industry. But where do you see things going from here? So obviously, the industry is well established. It's certainly changed quite a bit since those first 6 years started. I think many of the companies that we work with and their focus has shifted from cultivation into what you guys do, which is CPG and building brands around the products. But where do you see things going from here?
I think the wellness segment is going to be the massive opportunity as we go into the future. So, we see a lot more of our revenue being driven from the adult use channel, yet our products are very wellness oriented, right? They're non-combustible, they're alternative methods of consumption that are more health conscious. So the wellness consumer, I think, is what we really want to position ourselves well for. But I would encourage retailers as well to think about the wellness consumer. So in the early days, I think there was a lot of wait and see, still some hesitancy, maybe from different demographics who have grown up under the prohibition era. But those, especially more aging populations, that's a prime consumer for cannabis experiences like soft gels that can help them sleep, reduce anxiety, reduce pain, as an example. So yeah, I'd really be focusing on merchandising around the wellness consumer, product assortments to focus on the wellness consumer, and reaching them through both the medical and recreational channels.
Right. No, and it seems like you guys are well positioned for that. Anything you want to add just about how Nextleaf is attacking the next few years? I did mention that you are the recently appointed CEO of the company, so congratulations on that. And you certainly look the part and have always talked the part. Yeah, that's wonderful. But yeah, anything that you want to put forward as your vision for the industry or for the company and how it fits into your vision of the industry? Because obviously you're now the boss. So how do you see this company being steered into the future?
I've been with the company for 6 years now. And so being the director of marketing, I've had my hand closely on the branded products. And as that became a bigger and bigger part of our portfolio, that was a natural kind of segue into me becoming the CEO and leading and pioneering us through our vision to set the global standard for processing cannabis at scale. So this will include exporting our ingredients processed here in-house to global jurisdictions as they become federally regulated, but also continuing to build brand. That's where my expertise really lies in the natural products industry. Before, I was doing a 10x scale up at Vega, so I've definitely targeted that health and wellness consumer and really focused on scaling up, but with a sustainable business model. We're here to last. We're trying to build a sustainable legacy. We want to see this industry thrive long into the future. So it's going to require determination and fortitude and patience and diligence. And I think all of those things are attributes that our whole team has, not just from the leadership level, but everyone.
Absolutely. And you talked about fortitude, and certainly the investment communities had to weather some storms in the cannabis industry over the last few years, coming from the peaks of 2018 and 2021. There's probably been a bit of a gap between investor confidence and the prospects of this industry. So maybe just explain to our viewers what you see as being the value drivers for investors to pay attention to, that will hopefully maybe give them more interest in the industry and bring more people and eyeballs into the sector through the coming years.
No, I'm glad you asked, because I was reflecting on this actually driving in today. And in the early days of the industry, not that long ago, when we were raising capital, there was so many comparisons to the dot-com era. So many investors, I think, entered the space looking for quick returns, and it's just not that industry. We're in such a fledgling era. There was still so much volatility to happen. So I think investors should know and feel confident now this is no longer a speculative industry. This is a stable industry in terms of actual operators who are producing results in market. And so I would really be looking at obviously the financial statements of companies that investors are looking at, what the potential growth opportunities are for that company, and what consumer segments or products that they're focused on.
That all sounds fantastic, Emma. So where should viewers go to learn more about the company, and what can they do to see more of what you guys are offering there in the background?
This here is just a preview of what our facility is capable of. So I'd invite everyone to visit us at nextleafsolutions.com. We just launched a virtual tour that actually allows you to self-navigate through our entire production facility. So you'll see all of our process, you'll see the distillation technology, our vault, manufacturing. So if you want a more intimate look about Nextleaf, I would highly encourage checking us out and exploring the virtual tour. We'd love to have anyone.
Well, certainly, I couldn't be happier to see that you're the CEO. Congratulations, Emma, on the new appointment, and thank you for joining me in this new role as CEO of Nextleaf Solutions. Thank you again for joining us, and for those watching, that's Emma Andrews, that's Oils, Nextleaf Solutions, listed on the CSE.
Thanks, James.